Hey guys, I'm Josh Brown.
And I'm Jordan Stevens.
And you're watching the Cars and Health Bars podcast. Let's get right into the episode. Today is September 12th, and as you heard in the intro, we are joined by Jack of SOKY Speed Performance. How are you doing today, Jack?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing great, man. We got a lot to talk about. This has been a very anticipated episode, and if you can think back to a few episodes ago, we're going to be continuing a story that we left you guys on a cliffhanger on. You're going to have to stay to the end of the episode to hear about that. But I want to get you guys squared away and introduced to Jack. So, Jack, if you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about SOKY Speed Performance, the shop that you started from your own garage at home.
Yeah. So it started off, I bought my car many years ago, like 2018. It's a GTO. It's not super cool. And I couldn't afford, actually, funny enough, so I bought it the first week into ownership. The slave cylinder went out. I had never worked on like an LS car like that or anything.
That's a
First
hefty
weekend.
replacement.
Yeah. So pulled the trans out first weekend. I should have known right there. I should have sold that thing. But anyway, I dealt with it. And then 6 months into ownership, it spun a rod bearing. And obviously, I couldn't afford to take it anywhere to fix it. And I was working at a little mom and pop's place. So rebuilt the engine, cammed it, and then, I cammed Jacob's car like a year later, and then Logan's and many other cars. And I was camming, my friends of friends of friends. And then I was like, I could probably do this for a business. And so I started doing it as a side hustle. And, I still worked full time. And, I did that forever. And then I started doing it. Like I had an apartment with a 1-car garage, no joke. And that's where I was doing it out of forever. I didn't have the overhead, so I was the cheapest guy in town, whatever. Kind of built up a reputation to be good, though. And people honestly seem to not care. If you're honest with people and you're like, look, this is all I got, it's all I can afford, but, whatever. They didn't seem to care. So I did all that forever, like 2 years. And here recently, I was supposed to get this shop in June, and I just got it I think the last week of July, maybe August. I don't even remember. It's ever since I've got it, I've not slept, dude. It's just been go, 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 go. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got to where I am. I don't know.
Pretty cool backstory.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all big businesses, I mean, they started out from little tiny shop. I mean, Apple started out from a garage, Steve Jobs, like every big corporation, every big company is all started out from like a very small, like humble beginning. And,
it's funny how word of mouth gets around too, like doing side work and stuff, I've seen just how much that can really help business.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing too that was, made it hard for me. Like my dad literally still works at the post office. My mom lives in Nashville. She has a factory job. Like I do not come from money at all. So I don't have anyone that can just bail me out. Like, it's me or that's it. I mean, my wife finally got a good job and kind of helps, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's so hard to become a tuner in our area because there's been so many coming in and out of our space, and there's really only been like one main guy, Matt Sanford. But as far as other tuners, it's just I have a lot of people to this day ask, like, who would you take stuff to? Like, people have these LS cars or just got an LS car, and they're like, I don't know what to do. I want to make more power. And I feel like this is just you getting this shop is just kind of put you in a good space to start building up more of a reputation and a more of a scene in like Bowling Green, Kentucky, where we desperately need. I mean, how long does it take to go see James Short? How long does it take to see Matt Sanford? I mean, there's such a wait to see these tuners, and they have such a monopoly on our area. I feel like there just needs to be somebody like you to step in and just grow a tuning business that doesn't take 6 months to get on the dyno.
Dude, that's what's crazy to me. I put my phone number on Google like a month ago, and dude, I'm getting calls daily, and they're like, I had an old man, for instance, perfect instance today. We had the all motor Challenger, like grudge car condo, whatever, on the dyno, and that thing is stupid loud. And an old man, he's probably 60 years old, just shows up, and we're strapping it down, and he's standing there patiently waiting for me to, go talk to him. And I go talk to him, and he's like, hey, I got my car done somewhere in Ohio County or something. and it backfires on startup. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, it gets terrible gas mileage. I'm like, yeah. I was like, it probably needs a tune. And he said that somebody's buddy tuned it, whatever. He bought it. It was originally a 4.3 truck. And I'm like, yeah, we can for sure get you in. And he's like, well, how long is it going to be? I figure y'all probably a month or two backed up. And I'm like, man, we can get you in next week. Like, no big deal. Just, I'll give you a business card. Just text me. And he's like, all right, I will. But like, just, it's crazy to me that people have, like James, which good for him. But like, it's impossible to get in with James, dude. Like, he's months out at a time. And I just don't know how people do that. Like, I will work 16-hour days if I have to keep up. I don't know.
Yeah, like
I
I
think
mean
that's the way it
that's what
should
it
be.
takes. Yeah, that's what it takes. Like whenever you're a small business, I mean, you've got to show that drive and that commitment. And as long as you keep feeding the people are going to keep feeding you. I mean, it's because the more you get your cars out, like your cars meaning your work, the more people are gonna be like, oh dang, I hear something chopping at a gas station. Who tuned your stuff? Where'd you get that chop
Yeah.
from? And then they'll be like, oh, I got it down at SOKY Speed, down the road. And then they'll be like, oh, let me hit them up. It's kind of like it just snowballs into getting your cars out and people getting to you.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that's something this area struggled with, man. Is like I've known. I mean, I worked at one shop and it just couldn't go right, and then I've seen a couple others that just ain't got it right either.
Yeah. I mean, like the other people I just did, so I don't know if you guys seen that G8 that I put the LSA on. He went to
Yeah,
another local shop and that car was cammed and DOD deleted and had a converter put in. And he was got for like $16,000, which is crazy to me. And his car was there for 3 months. He hit me up. I told him to hit up Lance Strager. I think that's his name.
yeah.
Um, he pieces together a lot of like LSA kits. He bought his kit, and when everything come in, he brought me the car. I literally had his car completely LSA'd and back to him in 1 week. And
Wow.
it's just I don't know how people are so
I
slow
feel
at
like
this.
that's a
Like,
little more than a converter and a cam too. Like you're not missing
yeah,
with existing
exactly.
parts. You're adding new.
Yeah, if it was dude, you already know. I'm sure
A
you're the
converter
same way.
in a couple hours and a cam in a couple hours.
Exactly. In 3 months, I'm like, dude, that's
That
crazy.
is
Like,
crazy.
I don't know. Maybe
Brant.
that's. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I got a whole different point. Go ahead.
I was gonna be like, maybe that's why it
Yeah,
justified the $15,000 bill was the 3 months.
All
But
that labor and storage
labor
fees.
costs as much
yeah,
as a fucking car.
dude, literally, that's what he was telling me. He come by the other day. He actually wanted to get a shirt and a sticker. I was in such a hurry, I forgot to give him one. So he come by and yeah, we were talking about that. But he
Oh,
said he's $40,000 in the car, and I'm like, yeah, well, I'm like 100 in mine.
Jeez.
So
Branching on the LSA stuff, I wod say confidently, I've been in the car scene for, several years now. I feel like confidently can say you are the LSA guy.
And you know what? That's so funny to me because, like, if you would have asked me 2 years ago, I'd have been like, LSA, shit slow. Like, I would have never have took you serious. But I met a lot
TD
of cool
blowers.
guys. Yeah, I met a lot of cool guys that had, done some crazy stuff and crazy times with like 6130 stuff with LSAs. Like, there's a whole like GTO group of guys and just other car. They have other cars too, but they were pushing LSA stuff so crazy. I was like, you know what? I'm sick of this turbo thing. No AC, no heat, like loud as hell. So I ended up selling my turbo kit and bought a LSA and put it on. I literally did that. I took the turbo kit off my car last December. It was December 22nd. I put the LSA on and drove it all day Christmas Day. I swear.
Wow.
Um, in the driveway, like back in the before I had a shop. Like, I swear, I had to make a whole exhaust, like everything. Um, which that exhaust is still on my car, and I need to redo that, but it's whatever.
Hey, it runs. Yeah, I
I
feel
feel
like
like that's a big
LSAs too.
debate.
What?
LSA versus a centrifugal or turbo. There's so much debate between which one to go.
I mean, LSA is such a like budget way to
It
go, and
is.
I mean,
The
it gets
only
you some
thing that's
power.
bad about it is its size, which it makes good power for its size though.
I mean, I'll say so I just redid everything on my car and it's pretty high strung. I'm having issues with it, but it's a little LSA blower. It's got its Kong export, which is like their epoxy port, which they don't really epoxy it no more. It has like a billet insert, but that thing is gutted. And I mean, on a 6.2, that's ported heads, big camshaft, it's making 19 pounds of boost. So, I mean, little 1.9s, they can rip if you got the right setup.
For
Oh,
sure.
absolutely. I mean, the more boost you can cram in, I mean, that's just
And then you
the
got
only
one
thing those.
sevens on the LT.
Yeah. So I want to also talk about. I mean, since you've got the shop, something I've noticed, and maybe a few other people that are like in your circle have noticed. You've been doing a lot of the hard, gritty, dirty work, and you haven't really been hitting the dyno very much. You've been kind of collaborating with a another tuning person, RP Tuning.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, he's here right now. Actually, like literally in the other room. We're trying to get his car done. He has a Turbo Coyote, and dude, that dude. It's funny how I met him. So there's another shop in Nashville who did terrible work, and I had a CTSV brought to me, and the belt was flying off of it, and it was a pretty much stock car. It had a lower and some like custom homemade idler relocation on it. It was like a chunk of billet. Like it looked like some stuff you would make, like Josh would make. Like nothing against that. It just like did not,
Yeah,
like fancy powder
fab work.
coated.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
yeah, it was not fancy powder coated like a DMS relocated idler or anything like that.
yeah.
And it kept throwing the belt, and he put a solid isolator on it and a Lingenfelter hub on the blower, and it still was throwing the belt. And it ended up being because he had some kind of Pro Charger balancer, like ring, like a hub, on his ATI that was not the right spacing. And that's why I was throwing it off. Like it was like $160 to get the correct ring, and dude had just spent, several thousand to get a solid isolator and a whole bunch of other
Oh
crap.
my god.
And so Ryan had tuned that car, and I was like, no, I'm not going to deal with him. I was like, if he deals with that shop, I don't want nothing to do with him. And like I kind of like talked shit a little bit. I was like, I'm going to have Matt do it. Like that's where, he was the only guy I trusted back then. And so I talked to
Hmm.
Ryan, and then I kind of filled him out with a few cars because Matt started, um, he's just so busy now, and the whole Cletus thing, and he's just impossible to
Yeah.
get in with. And so I collabed with Ryan a little bit and had him tune like a couple like really basic like cam only fifth gens. And dude, it was great. His response time was great. Like he would send a revision back in like the same 10 minutes I sent it. Like it was just great. And so that kind of grew into a relationship. And then I was supposed to get the shop, and we had talked about that if he would come here and tune for me or whatever. And that kept just getting drug along. 2 or 3 months it took to get this place, and then finally I got it. And now it's just like I don't have time to do that. I'm too scared to hire anybody because I don't know. I don't have that. Daddy's money per se. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, he's been doing all the tuning stuff. I've been turning all the wrenches. I help him strap shit on the dyno, but um,
That's
yeah,
fair.
no, it's been great. He's great. Honestly, I would recommend him to anybody. Really.
Something that you and him share and have in common, and I would be speaking from somebody that doesn't share an opinion I have, but I feel like a lot of people get scared whenever they see, number one, young people, like such as ourselves, owning a business performance shop, especially dynoing cars, as well as somebody that has a quick get you in, get you out. I feel like those are the two main things that scare away new customers, especially like the older heads, maybe not even like
Yep.
older heads, like maybe 40-year-olds, 30, 40-year-olds. What do you have to say to people that maybe have that perspective?
I mean, two different ways you can give it a shot. I mean, do something small, and if they're not like me and they're not good. Not trying to toot my own horn, but whatever, move on. But or you can race any of the cars that we've done with similar builds from other shops. I swear, that's the thing with me is like people. I don't know. Like I have a guy so there's this dude that I know. He has a C6 Z06, and I quoted him like a full heads cam intake job, and I ended up not getting it because of the time frame thing. It was whenever I first got the shop, and I just couldn't squeeze him in. He wanted it done before LS Fest, so he went with another like Central Kentucky shop to have it done. And James actually tuned that car, and it didn't make or perform at all what he was thinking. And he didn't make it to LS Fest because that shop gave
Oh,
him like oh yeah, we can get you in 2 or 3, or we can have it done in 2 or 3 weeks. And then it turned to 5 or 6, and then it was 7 or 8. And he just got the car done like earlier this week, and he called me and he was like, "Man, it didn't make shit." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm sorry." I think it made like 563 is
On
what it
a
ended up
Wow.
making.
Z?
Yeah, yeah, and it has
Oh wow.
It had
Jesus.
Brodix heads and everything. But like, I swear, dude,
Must have
like
been a bad combo.
I was gonna quote him. I think I had the Brodix BR7 heads from GPI, ported and milled. We were going to get that thing like 11-4-1, no fly cut, custom grind GPI cam. And it was going to be the same price as what he paid this other guy for like, I think it had the same BR7 heads, but they weren't ported by GPI. Um, but I don't know. Like, that's my whole thing is like, it doesn't cost any more money to do like a radical setup. This people are like scared to like run like a, a GPI SS4 or whatever. Like it's if you build it good, it's not any less reliable. And also, if you have a good tuner, it's
For
not
sure.
less drivable either.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so it's just I don't know. Like Keith's car is a perfect example. Like his car drives just like it did before we did the heads cam intake, like high compression setup. He can't run 93, but other than that, like it drives the same. Um,
It's
I don't
kind of
know.
funny too because you talk like especially these Facebook groups and you talk about people, especially people who don't know a whole lot about like tuning and stuff. Like, oh my god, what cam should I go for the best chop? Like this is choppy cam. This like people don't realize how much the tune has to do with the chop.
Dude,
Like,
that's something me and Ryan actually have a disagreement on, kind of.
oh really?
So like, yeah, like it's so funny
We got
because like
some
Matt
war.
was the same way. Like, so I don't know if you guys know anything about HP tuners really, but like there are over and under speed like idle tables, and I'm sure somebody that's a tuner is like listening to me talk about this right now, and they're going to be like, don't say it," because literally, I can make a stock cam chop. I swear to God, like in HP tuners. If you just rape the
Yeah.
under over like idle timing, the spark
Yeah.
table, like not the spark table, but like it'll jump from like 20 degrees to like 0 degrees, and it'll look like a saw blade like in the
Yeah.
schooner when you're watching it. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I swear, dude,
You just
like
gotta manipulate it.
yeah, well, like Ryan doesn't want it to be like that. Like he's like that's ghetto. Matt would never even do it. Ryan will do it, but he acts like it's like a big deal. But whatever, it doesn't affect anything. Like it literally is just not factory plus. It's like you're raping it. Um, but like I do that for if somebody wants chop, like Chandler Decker's car, for instance, he has a little SS1
Yeah.
cam, like GPI SS1 cam, stock converter. That thing does not chop. Like it has like a CTSV growl, is what I call it. It just kind of like grumbles. And in gear, which I don't never do it in gear for people because then it'll make it like buck at a red light. But like in park or neutral, if you want
Mm-hmm.
that thing to chop, dude, I don't see why not to do it. I mean, if that's what you want at your car, whatever, man. But a lot of people hate that, and a lot of people online will be like, "Oh, don't do that. That's not right." But whatever.
I don't hate on it. If you pay for a tune and you request it, if you're willing to do that, I don't see how that's wrong at all.
Yeah, I feel like it's not even as bad as like the Coyote Ghost Chop. Like I feel like that's way
Yeah,
worse
that's even worse. Yeah.
than
Like
exaggerating
everyone
your own
knows that's
cam.
not how that car sounds. Like at
Yeah,
least if you have an aftermarket cam in your car and you want it to chop, I don't see harm in that at all.
no, but it's funny too though. Like when you start doing that, and you've done that to so many vehicles, like I have, like you'll hear other cars like that are really popular. Like you guys know what's this Parker Jones, the C6 Z06 with the purple high ram and the welds on YouTube. Stangry, I think is his name.
Yeah, I think I've seen this car.
Yeah, so he's got like a super finger quotations. You can't see me because my internet's
Yeah.
shit, but um, high compression, like built LS7 car, and he's like nothing
Mm-hmm.
chops harder. And literally, if you know what your list that car has the over under table raped like as worse as like the worst that I would ever do one. Like I swear, and that's why it chops so hard. It's not because it's some crazy hog cam or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's just a Z car that already chops crazy with
Yeah.
the extra over under raped. So I don't know. It's
You,
just
you
funny
know,
to me.
higher compression cars usually chop faster too. People don't realize.
Yeah, it's funny,
Like
dude. Keith's car.
if you listen to
Go ahead.
cars, if you
Yeah.
listen to them before and after, like I'll probably get a sound clip of my 416 when it's done and have it side by side with because the camshaft I'm going with is almost identical to the one I had before. The LSA is almost the only difference, so it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see how the chop sounds. Like I'm sure it's going to be a little different.
Yeah, for sure. Which a blower, I swear, blowers make cars chop different too. I don't know. Like I'm sure you've seen that. Like you'll put a car,
Yeah.
it'll chop like crazy. You'll put a blower on it, and it doesn't chop near as much. I don't know why that is, but
Oh
that's
yeah,
just the
my
way it
car don't
goes.
chop anything like it
A little
used
more
to.
drag on that crank. I
Hey,
don't
dude,
know.
hit up SOKY Speed. We can make your shit chop. I promise.
That's the new slogan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Oh,
that is
but
one thing I admire too, other than like the LSA stuff. Is shortly before you guys might have been in the shop. It was really close. The timeline was, but you guys set a couple records at James Shore's Dyno with some NA cars.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's super funny how that was. So we did Dax's car, which is it's just a GPI like heads cam intake. Like it's not nothing. It's a cookie cutter combo, and it literally broke the
Yeah.
record. Not by a lot. It only broke it by like 7, but like I didn't even know if it would break the record. I just wanted to see like how his dyno compared, And we broke it by 7 horsepower. And then the car that was supposed to break it dropped the valve, and it didn't break it. And then they fixed it, and it was supposed to break the record. And so that was like the same time we were doing Keith. So like we last second hit up James and we're like, yo, can we get the high compression stock bottom end combo up there and get it tuned for like the race meet too? And so I scrammed to get that thing. Dude, I stayed up for like 52 hours to get that car done. I swear to God.
God,
Um,
that's insane.
the first time I've ever fell asleep in my life driving was driving back from that race meet. So like Thursday night, engine was out of the car. I fly cut the pistons. Ooh, taboo, whatever. That's what I did.
I've done
The
that.
heads were
It
milled
is what it is.
92 thousandths on that combo. If that says anything. So they were milled so much the intake had to be like milled and the angle had to be like readjusted. Anyway, got the car all put back together, engine back in the car Friday night, first startup Friday at like 2 a.m. And we had to be at James's at 10 a.m. to get tuned. And then we were racing Saturday night in Lexington
Jeez.
at the all motor meet. And I did not sleep I woke up Friday morning and did not sleep until like 4 a.m. Saturday night,
Oh
which
my
was
God.
crazy to me. Um, but yeah, so that other car hit the dyno Friday, and it didn't even break Dax's record, which it was supposed to. But then we just like dropped the bomb and broke our own record by like I don't even remember, like 45 horsepower. It made 558. The record was 512. So yeah, I don't know. And his car, dude, his
Nice.
car to me is a cookie cutter combo too. I think I could make 20, 30 more if the budget allowed it. But yeah.
And also Logan's car set a record for was it 6.0 record?
So yeah, so that record, her car, which I've heard you guys talk on your podcast before, her car is an LS2 car. It's not like an iron 6 liter. It is an LS2.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's a stock bottom end. It's actually out of a G8, so it's technically an L76, but it's still
Gotcha.
an LS2. So I had the reluctor wheel swap to
Yeah.
Gen 3 24X, and then did the like 0506 GTO front cover 1X cam gear, and
Mm-hmm.
so it all runs like stock. But so I talked to James and like not a lot of people are building LS2s anymore because the last one was produced in 2006 or 2007, I guess, in Trailblazers, whatever. But the G8's got L76, which is the same thing, just LS3 heads. But anyway, he couldn't for sure verify if he had one that was ever higher. But as far as he could remember, he had never had one as high. And her car was on pump gas too. It made 509. Um, yeah, it was.
Oh
Her car's
Dang.
pretty radical too. Yeah.
Them cathedrals are
It's
kind of spicy on that bottom end, man.
well, her car had the GPI 281X ported LS3 heads, hollow stem intake valves, BTR
Oh, okay.
685s, like yeah, and it had a ported rod mod LS3
Nice.
intake, which helped it. Um, they just had stock 42 pound an hour LS3 injectors too on pump gas, like stock fuel pump. Like her car's a cookie cutter combo too. Like I just don't understand how these people aren't making big power numbers with like their cookie cutter combos because like I don't know what we do is not nothing crazy to me. It just performs well. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I was just blown away. Like I said, that alone like already gets you put on the map because I mean you've got as somebody with such a following, like James Short, saying, "Hey, our record was broke twice by the same shop." Like that alone should have like started pushing some people. Like, oh, maybe this guy's got some stuff figured out over here in South Central Kentucky.
yeah. That's where I got that C6 Z06 guy, the guy I quoted, but the time frame just wasn't right for him, which it would have been if he wouldn't have got lied to. But you know how it is. But he saw that
I
post
feel like a
from
lot of
James.
times I feel like people just start rushing, man, and it just it never has a good outcome. Like even if you're pushing the shop, like putting pressure on the shop, putting pressure, it just nothing ever comes good from pressure.
Oh yeah, I already man, like my car is perfect example. My car was a complete running and driving like LS6 bottom end LSA GTO Wednesday of before LS Fest. I'm like, I have this LSA block that I built, and like ported head, like I have this full ready to drop in combo, and I'm like, I can do that right before LS Fest. So like Wednesday morning, um, I pull the motor out of my car, and on a GTO, like I don't know, people say you can do it. I've tried it years ago. I've not tried it again since I've learned a lot, but like I can have the transmission out in about an hour, if that.
Yeah.
So I always pull the transmission first, where their front sump, they have like the big like U-shaped oil pan, and it makes a pain to try to pull it all
Yeah.
together or put it all back in together. So anyway, I pull the transmission and then I pull the motor out, and by like lunchtime Wednesday, and me being cheap, I have a good set of lifters in that motor, and that motor was perfectly fine and healthy. So I thought. Turned out it had 6 bent rods, whatever. That just shows you if you have a good tune-up, stock bottom end shit will live at whatever you. I mean, it's all 20 pounds forever. Um, anyway, um, so I stole the lifters out of it. I stole the lifters, had to take the oil pan. I stole my cam gear, my lower cam gear, my timing chain, my LS2 dog bone. I was going to steal the oil pump, but ended up looking at that, and apparently I had a torn pickup tube O-ring, and it never gave me any issues, but I
Damn.
didn't want to reuse that, so I had a new 1026 on the pump, or on the shelf. So I put that pump in.
Yeah.
Anyway, got it all running literally Thursday night at like 11 o'clock. Luckily, Ryan was here. We threw that thing on the rollers, and my first time ever using the new BTR shaft mount rockers, I reused my push rods too. I've done that combo a million times. Like nothing was off the heads, LS9 gaskets, caddy race lifters, like stock rockers. I guarantee you, I would have nailed the push rod length like perfect just from what I've done in the past. But I think the geometry kind of got changed with the shaft mount rockers, and I think my push rods are about I don't know, 25 thousandths too long, maybe 50. I don't know. I haven't had time to tear it back apart. But we got it on the rollers, and it made really good power first pull. Like first baby pull had 10 degrees in it. I'm spraying the house down with some meth too, methanol, I should say on here probably.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Nah.
Nah, you're good.
um, anyway, and it made 719 or 718 first lick, 10 degrees of timing, and I'm like, shoot, this thing like fuel, it was rich, like this thing's gonna make. I was expecting it to make. If it made less than 850, I think I joked to Josh who was over here, and I was like, if it makes less than 850, I'm gonna be pissed. Like I'm gonna throw a nitrous plate on it. Like swear to God. And so first pull of 720, I'm like, dang, this thing might make close to 900. We got my motor's static compression ratio is 10:2 to 1, and with this combo, this much meth, like I expect it to want 20, 21 degrees of time. And like, that's about what I would expect it to want. And so we lean it up a little bit and we add 2 degrees to it, and it makes 10 less horsepower. And I'm like, what? And also I look back at the graph, and like the graph has like a really weird dip at like 5,800. And I'm like, dang it. This is not looking good. I'm out of time. And because I got to be LS Fest the next morning. Also, I don't know what it is with my car. Every time I've ever pulled the engine, I have ruined the radiator. Every time. And so my radiator is also like pouring coolant on the dyno. Like every pull, I'm like having to fill it back up. And I've already I located a radiator already, so it wasn't a big deal. But anyway, it ended up only making 720. We left it with 10 degrees in it, and it is what it is. I'll pull it back apart and figure out what it is. And you know what? If it still makes that low horsepower, I will put a nitrous plate on it. I'm not above it. It will make
Ain't nothing
900
wrong with
or
that.
yeah, but
C7 time.
it's something.
Our first sponsor today, of course, you know them, you love them, Chemical Guys. They have the best car care products in the game. Of course, my favorite products here, you got the starter kits. I highly recommend the starter kits to any of our listeners because it is the greatest way to get a bulk amount of products. It's just the best bang for your buck. Even the mini arsenal, it comes with everything you need. It's got the honeydew soap, it's got the spray wax, it's got the bucket, the foam cannon, it's got everything you need. Cars 10 site-wide for 10% off your order. And our next sponsor today is Badass Extension Cords. They've got some of the highest quality extension cords in the game here. Got their outdoor extension cords pulled up. What I really like about them is they have all these customizable colors that you can do, and you can even have unique writing on them to make them say whatever you want to. They've got the 50-foot Pro cable with 6 outlets going along the whole entire cord. These cords are some of the highest quality that you have around. You need some of these in your shop. Even the indoor ones, they go all the way up to 100 foot. They go all the way down to 25 foot. Why not pick up a Badass extension cord for your shop so you can make sure that you do not lack anything whenever it comes to working on your project? You need that for those power tools. You know you do. That being said, guys, head on over to Badass Extension Cords, pick you up a cord, and use our affiliate link so they know we sent you. Hey Mustang guys, where you at? I got CJ Pony Parts here for you today, sponsoring the podcast. For all of your Mustang needs, whether you are restoring a 1960s Mustang all the way up to the S650, they've got parts for you. Everything from body parts all the way to your exterior and engine parts. They've got it all. I want you guys to hop on over, look at CJ Pony Parts, see if you can find something for your Mustang today. Give you something to do this winter, this summer, finish up the build, and make sure you use our affiliate link so that they know we sent you from the podcast. I want to thank Speedway Motors for sponsoring the podcast. One of my favorite parts, wiring harness. They have a DIY wiring harness, so if you are not that good at wiring, they have a full kit that is a universal. You just pick what circuit you want. It is as simple as you get it. They have a lot of parts for your older cars. It's hard to beat these deals. Some of the best prices, that's always what I've known them for, is the really good prices, the really good quality. So yeah, guys, hop on over there, see if they've got something for your build, and use our affiliate link so they know that we sent you. And with that being said, guys, let's get right back into the topic. I guess LS Fest, of course, but before we get into that, I want to talk about, at LS Fest, you had a dang lineup, brother, under the SOKY Speed name. I want to talk about some of the featured builds that you have kind of under your belt. Like, you would say these are like the builds that I did if I want a customer to like look at something that we've done that's, either a go-to cookie cutter or just like a down home bad Honda, build,
Yeah. I don't even. Keith's car would probably be my number one. Like, check this out, just because it's cool. Not that many stock bottom end full weight C6s are running 10.5s at 131 and 3,000 foot DA, like cutting 146. And he could daily drive it to Florida if he wanted to. Like, he literally does daily drive that car. And I mean, I'm sure C6, whatever. Obviously, it makes it faster, but I could make a fifth gen Camaro do the same thing, with the same combo. But Keith's car would be a good one to just like check out. Keith is a character, but his car is definitely cool. He's a great guy too. But Dax's is another like stock compression one that would be a good like one to look at. And that was actually, he was my first customer that was like not somebody that I knew really well. I think I cammed his car when he was in high school, like 2021. I charged him $500, if that says anything, for like everything.
Jeez.
I think I lost money in the whole ordeal because back then Matt was in Gallatin and I had to drive his car to Gallatin, fill his car up with fuel. Like, it was pay for his oil. Like, I don't think I broke even, if anything, on that car. But I think Dax will be loyal for life. I love Dax and whatever. But his is a good build or a good combo. A bunch of the 6 gens I've done, which I don't even think any of them guys were over there. They're all Camaro Club. Like, I'm sure you guys are part of it. Yeah. Anyway, you know how that is.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. But they're big into that. And so I think that the Camaro Club was actually running like some of the staffing, like parking and whatnot. So they were parked over in like the staff parking. But a couple, BTR cam cars and a full bolt-on car. And I don't know. I mean, Logan Sanders' 6 gen was a really good one to look at until Logan Sanders happened to it. He had I don't know, dude. He just had an addiction to rev limiter, and it was way too spicy. We set it up last year, and the budget did not allow for a titanium intake valve, and that's really what that car needed. But I'm
Sounds
like,
like it.
it'll be fine. It would have been fine, especially if it was an auto car. But like, I think I've probably shown both of y'all before the video of him launching it at the
Yeah,
drag strip. He
Yeah,
slipped the clutch and
brutal.
just held it on rev limiter for like 15 minutes. It blew up a week later. Ended up dropping a
piston to
valve. I
valve
think it,
clearance.
yeah, I think it broke an intake valve and then, it just grenaded itself. But we rebuilt it and it's kind of like a grudge build now. I can't really say too much, but um, if anybody's got a full bolt-on car,
Just
full
out of
bolt-on
curiosity.
LT1 car, go ahead.
Oh, out of curiosity, how much difference did that titanium valve make in weight,
I don't even know.
if you remember?
I don't even know right off the top of my head. I know like a solid stem LS3 valve is like 109 grams, and then a hollow
Yeah,
stem LS3 valve is
80,
a 88.
89,
88, 89. I've
88.
measured them.
Yeah.
They usually on my little food scale they come up at 88, but it might be 89 and 110, whatever. But
Mm.
yeah, the hollow. I think the titanium ones are like 10 or 15 grams lighter than that even. Which at
Jeez.
Oh
8,000
wow.
RPM, LT1, like if it was a LS3 car, like Keith's rev limiter is literally the hard coded limit. It's 8,192. Like that's the highest you can set it. Um, that is what Keith is. And an LS3 valve is like an inch and a half shorter than a LT1 valve, and that's some weight. Like a hollow stem
Yeah.
LT1 valve weighs what a solid stem LS3 valve does. Um, so I mean that's really why his car ended up having all those issues. Plus him mostly. I've got other cars that have very similar combos and are turned that hard and they don't have any issues, but they're not on rev limiter for 15 seconds straight and then
Yeah.
like no lift shifting, tagging rev limiter every time he shifts. Um, Whatever. But it's if anybody has a full bolt-on car, full bolt-on LT1 car, C7, Camaro, whatever, definitely race Logan because his finger quotations full bolt-on car is rowdy. Rowdy.
Nice.
But
Yep.
yeah,
I think
Unfortunately, we
Homie
didn't.
has a piston return spring upgrade in that engine. I think that's what's up.
yeah, something like that.
So, unfortunately, it wasn't very many runs to Mexico, as you would say, but we still had a really good time at your block party. I want to talk about that because that was, I'm going to say, I went to LS Fest Friday, Saturday. As we all know, it rained and it was kind of a bummer. But I don't know. As a whole, I feel like I enjoyed the block party more than I enjoyed LS Fest this year. It was just such a banger of an event, man.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you got to enjoy it because I felt like chicken with my head cut off, dude. I don't even, man, I probably walked 20 miles in the span of 5 hours. Like, I was literally, like, I remember seeing you, I seen both of y'all, and I'd be like, hi, how are you? And then, like, before we could even talk, I would be getting pulled off, like, to somewhere else. Um, I don't know, man. It was crazy. I mean, it had a good turnout, and I had fun. I mean, it was cool having all the people here, getting to check it out and whatnot. Parking was learned a lot about the whole parking
Yeah.
situation.
That was the biggest gripe. Like, especially guys that showed up like later, they were like, "It was great, but parking." I'm like, "Well, it's kind of on you. You should have got there earlier." But
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, a lot of it too was like the reason why there was so many issues. It was the drunk people. Like there was like 20 drunk people that were just like showing up, sitting in their cars, not even coming to the event, just like drinking beer and like leaving trash. Like it was crazy, but no, I
What?
had fun. I
I didn't
tried to
know
get
about
food.
that.
Yeah, I tried to get food for 2 hours, and finally I went over there to get food, and it was kind of crazy to me because like I had my buddy Jordan, which it's funny. He literally lives in Knoxville, and we are best friends. Have been since like 2019. He comes down for LS Fest every year. That is the only time we talk. Like we text throughout the year a little bit, but like we'll text for a month or two after LS Fest, and then not talk till like a week before LS Fest, and then we're like inseparable during LS Fest. And anyway, he come over there with me while I was getting my food, and he was like, I don't remember what I got. I got some kind of burger, and it come with fries. And I was like, you think they'll put cheese on that for me? And he looked at me and he's like, I mean, you're kind of in charge here. I'm like, I'm sure that he said, I'm sure they'll do that for you. And like that was like an eye opening like moment for me because like it felt like I was just attending someone like I was on staff at someone else's event. Like I didn't really think about it
Yeah.
being like my shindig going on. Like I was like, holy shit, like I'm literally in charge of like 200 people right now. Like it's kind of crazy. Yeah, they did put cheese on my fries. If any of y'all are curious, it was no big deal. But yeah, before I even got to get it though, they gave you a little clicker. I don't know if you guys ate that food truck. It was kind of expensive, but man,
Mm-mm.
it was pretty delicious. Um,
I mean, food trucks are expensive as is. I'm pretty
yeah,
used to that, but yeah, that was it. Smelled good. We had just ate like right. Well, me and my
yeah,
wife, we ate like right before we came there because I mean, we showed up kind of early to kind
yeah.
of help out a little bit. But yeah, I was definitely wanting to get something. But like you said, I was running around. I was trying to make like business connections. I'm like, hey, check out the podcast. Check out the podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
Once we got the parking situation down, it was kind of funny. Me and Tristan, shout out to Tristan for helping a ton. He was kind of my right hand man for everything else besides whatever I was doing. He was taking care of the dyno and helping other people if they needed anything, whatever. And then he was acting like a salesman, which is what I ended up doing. And I would just walk up to random people and be like, "What'd y'all drive?" And they would be like, Dodge Dakota. I'd be like, "You need to put that thing on the dyno." And then I started, I don't know, I'm kind of going to out myself to some people, I suppose, but I would joke with people. I'd be like, "Look, it's $100 entry, but for you, I'll do it for 80." And dude, that got so many people because they all felt like they were doing a good deal. I think we had like 16 cars total that did the dyno challenge, and literally like 10 of them were for $80. I swear to God, because like I would just walk up to them and they'd be like, they would feel like they're getting a great deal. Which I mean, obviously you can't dyno your car anywhere else for less than that. Um, but like all the
yeah,
Mustang
Yeah.
guys, especially like the Fox Body guys and stuff, like those were I would hit their buddies up and I'd be like, "Don't y'all want to see what it puts down on a dyno?" And they're like, "I'll put in 20 if you'll put in 20." And it would be like a group of four of them, so it cost $20 a piece. But I don't know. It was fun. I
yeah.
had a blast at that point.
I
But
think Logan put me up to it too. Logan put me up to it because she was like, "You need to go get some guys on the dyno for me." I'm like, all right, I started doing it too. I wish I knew that. I'd been like, "Hey, I know the owner here. I'll hook you up."
oh
For like
yeah,
eighty
you should
dollars.
have.
Like people be like fresh pulling in like that Hellcat. Like as soon as he got there, I could tell he didn't really know anybody. He was actually just there because of LS Fest. He saw the sign there, so he didn't know anybody there. I'm like, "Hey dog," I'm like, that Hellcat's still warm. You might as well put it on dyno while it's still warmed up.
Yeah,
I did that to that GT 500 car too. I'm like, "Hey, it's still warmed up. Go ahead and throw it on the dyno."
yeah. No, it was fun. I had a blast. Once that part, like, I stopped. I ended up. So what the problem was there's a dude named Billy that like I own the shop, but behind the shop is a dude named Billy that owns a house and a farm back here. And Billy is a great guy. He's a I don't know. He's a character for sure. And I don't know. He's been great to me. I have no beef with Billy. Like he's been great. But people started driving around there and parking in his front yard, and he was getting extremely upset because they were parking over his septic tank, and he was terrified that his septic tank was going to close in or cave in on itself. And so he come in there looking for me, and I don't know where I was, but from what I heard from other people, he was hot. And so anyway, I finally, yeah, he was pissed. And the reason he was pissed because one of the random people that were here, they were parked back there on his septic tank. He asked them very nicely to move, and they literally just said "F you." And then he said, "What did you just say? You don't want to say that," is what Billy said. And then they were like, "If you don't shut up, I'm going to cut a donut in your front yard." And dude, that just like set Billy off. Like he lost his cool. And so he come hunting me down, hunting Logan down, my wife Logan. Um, dude, it was just bad. And so I went back there and I ended up taping off, like caution taping off like his entire yard. And after that, I kind of just let people figure out where to park. You park where you can. It is what it is at this point. I'm sick of trying to park cars for the last 2 hours. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
it was pretty fun. I don't know. We
I'm
kind of
glad they were. I'm glad. Do
go
what?
ahead.
Sorry, there's a
Go
little bit
ahead.
of a delay.
No, you're good.
I was going to say, I was really surprised, as big of an event as it was and as chaotic as it was, people were really respectful of the caution tape in front of like the shop doors. Like nobody was trying to get in there in the
Yeah.
dyno room. Like everybody was being really, really respectful.
Yeah, no, I mean, nobody. We didn't have no issues. I think this next time, which I don't know if you guys, I don't think I've told you guys, but I think we're going to do another one at Ford Fest like in 2 weeks. So not this weekend, but next
Oh
weekend.
wow.
Nice.
Um, yeah, kind of learned a lot. I think I'm going to try to get some staff shirts so maybe we stick out more. Like, because that was the whole thing
Yeah.
is like people that, know me, but don't know like all like just random customers, like some of the closest customers to me, like Keith and like Dax even kinda and like Jay. Um, they know me, but they don't know each other all that well. And so like people that were walking back like behind the tape, like, if it was a spectator or if it was one of us, it's kind of hard to tell because, they don't really know each other. And that was one thing that was kind of, stressful. But for them, I mean, I didn't see anybody ever try to do anything that go anywhere that they shouldn't be. But I heard that some people were getting a little close and looking around a little too close sometimes. But I mean, I don't have anything missing, and nobody tried anything from what I can have heard or seen. So whatever.
That's good. That's something I
But
would definitely worry about.
oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I was.
scoping the place
Um,
out.
yeah, and I've worried about that all week, kind of too, just because whatever. I mean, we got security and whatnot, but just how it is. There's a ton of stuff in here and ton of valuable stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like most people that came were pretty respectable.
Yeah, man, I was really hoping that you guys were going to do another gathering like that. I didn't expect it to be so soon. I'm going to be honest, but that was just such a great event, and I mean, it's platonic. It's good for the car community, and it's good for you as a business. I mean, I had a whole group of guys come in from E Town that I had never met before. It was so cool to connect with those guys. There was a few guys from Bardstown that came down, like just meeting with people that you only, like you said with your guy, they only communicate through text message. It's cool to see one shop bring such a community together in person at a private property, mind you, where you can actually, like maybe hit some two-step checks, maybe do a burnout or two. Like you can actually let loose and not worry about getting kicked out, having backup spots, cops showing up, people getting tickets, all that good stuff. It's just such a good vibe that you have this property.
Yeah, I mean that I had a. It was funny too. Like this woman, she showed up right at 6, and like cars were starting to come too. But she stopped me and asked me like I just so happened to be up there like telling people where to go, and she was like, "Am I in the right spot?" I'm like, "Well, I'm probably. What are you here for?" She was like, "The LS Fest block party thing I saw on Facebook," and she's like, "It is open to the public, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, it's like a car show." But she was there. It was just a mom with her 2 kids, like literally no cars, no nothing. She just come for the show, and then she made an effort to come to me before she left, and she's like, "Thank you for doing this. We had a blast. It's getting a little chilly and late. We're gonna head out, but like just I don't know. It's made me feel good, I guess."
That's wholesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there was even a point to where it might have been one of my guys from E Town. I'm not super sure. I didn't recognize him, but like my wife motioned me over. She was like, "Hey, this little kid wants you to rev up your car for him." Like it's pretty cold, but all right. Like, it's just so wholesome to like have such a community there, and like I was saying, like everybody seemed to be on such good behavior. Like there were no fights. There wasn't like anybody. Like it's just there's such good stuff, like good vibes, such good vibes.
Yeah, I honestly, person, other than the person that talked to Billy, who I never saw
Yeah.
or any of that, other than that, I haven't heard of any of the people that that were helping people or anything. No one was disrespectful. No one, had anything going on. I mean, it was just, it was awesome. Nothing bad happened at all that I've heard of anyway. Yeah,
Yeah, so we are coming to the tail end of the episode here, and I do want to deliver as promised. I have the continuation of the story from a few weeks ago where Jordan got really in the motions about his ex employer. And we're not going to give out any names or anything, but of course, Jack was the one that is now leasing that property. And I want to say it's a little ironic, and I feel like Jordan will agree with me.
For
I kind of
sure.
want to I want to get Jack's side because, and I might have even told Jack this, but in those walls, in probably the office that Jack's sitting in right now, there were so many countless times that this specific person would go on and on about how Jack was a terrible tuner. He'll never go anywhere. He's never going to get any business. He wishes that he had a business, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. And now there Jack sits in probably his chair, in charge of his building.
How they
No, dude,
turn
I threw all
tables.
that shit out. It smelled like cat shit. Not gonna lie to you.
uh,
But anyway, yeah, no, I haven't even seen anything. I've never met until I got the shop, and I met him one time. I have never spoken to. I have never done nothing. So I don't know why he hated me so much. But I don't know, dude. I was a kid back then too, like 2020. Like, dude, I was
Yeah.
20 years old.
yeah.
I'm sorry I made you feel threatened back then. But I don't know.
But he even gave you such a hard time just getting a hold of the building. Like you were supposed to get it in like June. And here you
Oh
are getting at the end of August or well, beginning of
man,
August.
you have no idea. I don't even know. I don't want to. I know that there are lawyers involved in both sides of everything, so I don't want to get too much into it. But it was a
Oh, absolutely,
complete
yeah.
shit show. And dude, this place, it looked like those like abandoned houses, like hoarder houses. This was like tuner shop
Yeah.
hoarder abandoned house. Like I swear to God, there was. I have a I have a 18-foot dovetails car trailer that I piled up 5 foot tall 10 times and took to the dump. I'm not even joking. I've spent over $500 taking stuff to the dump. I've got a trailer load right now that I still need to take to the dump. Um, it's just crazy to
Oh my
me that there
god.
was just so much stuff in here and just trash. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, I was supposed to get it back, like, I think May, and then it was pushed to June, and then it was July, and then finally in August, I got it. But even still, like, it was pushed back another week, and it's just crazy.
Couldn't get the
Um,
keys the day you're
That's
supposed to get the
that's how
keys.
everything in that shop felt. I can't even lie. That's how every aspect of it felt at the like, dude, to a T.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was so difficult. And like everyone I've met from there, like I met, Haney, obviously. Taylor, I think is his real name.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I met him, dude. He's a great character. He's actually coming tomorrow to fix my garage door. Swear to you. I'm paying him to fix
Oh
it
Dude,
tomorrow.
wow.
he's great
Yeah.
with garage doors too, dude. Let me
Yeah.
tell you.
And the six gen ZL1 that's here, that has the wiring issues that was left from the previous guy. The six gen ZL1 that was left here that was supposed to be done was owed to it, and that's another reason why there's a bunch of lawyers and whatnot involved. But I'm probably gonna have Haney come finish that car just because I don't have time to do it, and
Yeah.
he
He
already
already
was
knows what
there
he's doing.
for it.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying I couldn't do it. It's just going to be one of those that make me scratch my forehead.
Well,
And
you're having to pull off a customer's car for that too.
yeah, and I'm not going to make a ton of money. And so, I mean, I think Haney said that he's not doing nothing right now. I think he's just trying to figure out where he's going to go, because that's another thing that got done wrong was he didn't even know he was getting kicked out. So the guy that
Yeah.
leased the shop, he was not here ever. But Haney was still had a key, and he was coming and doing his own thing, like his own little side hustle, working out of the shop. And then, boom, locks got changed. He had no idea, and he had his tools in here and a bunch of other stuff. And if that happened to one of my guys, or like to me even, like, which I would never let that happen, just I wouldn't do that. But I wouldn't want the next guy to like steal my guy's tools just because I'm a piece of shit. Like, I would rather him be able to come get all his stuff, and I let him come get all of it. And like even some of the parts that he was like, "Yeah, I had this here. I don't know where it is now. You've moved everything." Like I let him come. He could have lied to me and took stuff that wasn't even his, but like he seemed trustworthy, and I felt bad. And so I mean, he got like a truck intake, and like the stuff he wanted was not really valuable. Not like crazy
Yeah.
valuable anyway.
Nah,
So
he's
I
not
let him
like
take all of it.
greedy by no means.
No, he's a great. He's honestly, I like him a lot. I'm not in a position where I can hire someone, and I also, as bad as it sounds, I just don't want anyone that was associated with it before to come in this soon. Just because I feel like
Oh,
it could put
I,
a
I feel like
yeah,
that's understandable.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
I'm
I'm sure he does great work, but yeah,
I'm just glad to see that, dyno moving, that shop functioning. I sat
Yeah.
and just watched that shop sit dormant for so long, and it just hurt my soul because it's like this shop meant something to me. Like, this was a core place that I had a lot of my work done. My car went in there bone stock. My car got cam there. My car got headers there. Like, so much was done to my car there at that shop, and here it sits building up dust and cobwebs. And the owner has plenty of opportunity to make money. I'm sending my people to him to have tunes done, and he's ignoring them.
Yeah.
He's not opening their emails. It's just so frustrating. And I'm just glad now that you're in a position now to where you can take in work. You can make that shop function again. It's just like seeing an old tractor like just sitting in a barn, just not just withering away. But now you're making it work. You're putting it back in business, and I just love to see it as a car enthusiast. Jack? We lost him. There's two Jacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It literally, I don't know what just happened, but I'm back. I think it kicked me out. I don't know, maybe some Wi-Fi, something going on.
Okay, that's all good. We're wrapping up anyways. I'll just jump back in here. So Jack, it has been just killer having you on. This has been a
Yeah.
long-awaited, much anticipated episode, and I want just plug everything you've got here at the end of the episode. If anybody wants to make their car fast, make their car chop, they need to go see you, and just go ahead and plug whatever you got, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, RP tuned, he's great. I would hit him up for anything. I'm trying to get into the Coyote stuff. I've done a little bit already, like some full bolt on cars, Hemi stuff as well. I mean, we've got a Challenger that's 426 cubic inch stroker motor, blah blah blah, literally on the rollers right now. I'm trying to get into that market too, but LSLT, I mean, I've done so much of it. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but if you come here, you'll be in good hands. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just hit me up. My phone number's on Google. Google keeps calling me all the time. It's so irritating, but anyway.
Yeah, we'll put all Jack's information in the description, and you can hit up Jack if you want a fast car. I mean, that's just what it is. Located just 20 minutes away from Beach Bend Raceway Park in Park City, Kentucky. So, like I said, everything for him is going to be in the description. And again, Jack, I want to just thank you for coming on to the podcast and talking to us. It's been great having you on.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me, for real. Both of you.
And
Yeah.
absolutely. And with that being said, guys, we'll throw it to your outro, and we will see you in the next one.